All right, so hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I want to point out Mr. Hogan's shoulder plane and how it spins. Does it stay perfectly at a right angle to the spine, or is something going lower than the other? The shoulder plane depicted by the blue line there, okay? Now you can see the arm plane is low. It's lower than the armpit. And so I'll point that out to you here just by simply drawing a line across his arm. You can see, let me see if I got that all the way up there. Yeah, it's close enough. It's underneath the shoulders there. So he has a very flat um, golf swing. He had long arms. Ben Hogan, I'll put him back in address. You see how low the hands are hanging there. Um, and he wasn't a tall man. They called him the wee man in Scotland. So the left shoulder is at the red dot, and as the right shoulder comes back out at the turn, does it get all the way to the dot, or does it go? Oh, it goes under. So right here, he's striking the golf ball. Okay, and the cool thing is, when you look at this, you can see the ribs are crunching in here, like an accordion, right? And the hip plane is like this. So the ribs on the other side are expanded like an accordion. So he's kind of scrunched in the right ribs because he's going into right side bend. And that is what brings that shoulder on a plane that will deliver the club. This plane here would go over the ball. So he has to do something which he does so well as he lowers that right side bend in there, connects that elbow, and you can see the right shoulder doesn't come out to that red box until here. Now it's at the same level as the left shoulder was at the top of the swing. Play that back right there. Left shoulder hasn't reached it from impact, hasn't got to the red now, right there. How does it do it? Well, when he goes into extension, he starts to flatten that belt out. So the belt, as its steepest or most tilted, is right here. And then as he goes up, 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 I'll pull that out of there, and now you'll see the belt is level. So he kind of straightened up his spine, which brought that right shoulder up after he hit the ball. It's not so much a perfect square shoulder turn to the spine. But that would be helpful for anybody that's an amateur to think that that's what you're doing, because that'd be great impact for you guys. Here's the shoulder on the other side. So left and right shoulder, does he spin it out right to the end of the blue line again? Not until well after impact. There's impact. Right shoulder's not even close. And again, he has that accordion look, that roundness on the other side, like other side of the accordion. And of course, there's that belt bent down as well. This one. So some things to take note of here, gang. And again, something really cool in here too. I was just when I was playing this, I'm going to back all this out and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Maybe see if he does it on the other side as well. Yeah, see his face here, right? It is looking at the ground at a certain angle there. Okay, now when he takes his backswing, you can see right there, it kind of lifts up. You can see the visor change, right? And I'm going to pull this out of there, and then you can really see that shoulder is bumping his head up. So the protraction and raising of the clavicle is actually kind of just making his head lift up a hair. Then he goes back into that tilt at the downswing, and it lifts it up there. So it's not exactly staying quiet. Again, over here on this other side, you'll see the hat pointed down with the visor right in front of the ball, it looks like. Okay. Then right here, you can see it lifts. Right there, if you watch. Not a very good arrow. There. There. So the clavicle's going, shoulder plane's flat. He has that low arm swing, nicely compressed hands and arms. And then the right shoulder goes under, goes low, and doesn't quite get uh, to the blue line until P8, the follow through, and the arms are level to the ground on the way out. So some noted positions, guys. Look at the side bend of that belt. It is tilted down, man. There is water. If this was a container of a wine barrel like here, he is pouring water out of that sucker when he's hitting the ball. How do you do that? You got to get that hip way over here and open to the target. You got to open your body up, right? Can't have a body facing the target. I mean, look at the hips are square to the target right now. And then the shoulders are square to the target, but the hips are open. And now as he's hitting through, everything's open. Master. Awesome. So hope this clears up some things for you guys. Give you something to practice on the driving range. That's what's fun. All right. Happy golfing. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Squirminator here. I want to talk about Mr. Hogan's shoulder plane. Okay, we're talking about how the arms get in there and how the feet are working. Now the arms attached to the shoulders, we better know what we're doing with those guys, right? So a good order of operation is going to be, once you're bowed over from the hips, that you're trying to turn your shoulders at a right angle to the spine. So like a helicopter blade would spin like this, level here. Well, the post of the helicopter is tilted over, which is your spine angle. And the idea would be that the shoulders would turn on a perpendicular angle to that. This is not on the target line. So if the target line is right here where the ball is, then I am not trying to pivot with my shoulder down to the target line. That is just way too steep, okay? I have a stick out there about 3 feet and angled up at my right shoulder here. And as I spin back and turn back, you're going to see the shaft line up to that stick out there pretty close, right? So I'm just spinning my spine angle, and that's taking that club pointing down. All right, let's talk about Hogan's shoulder plane. What do the shoulders do? Well, pivoting back, right hip cleared out of the way, loaded over to the right a little bit. Shoulders got spun down, so it's not down this way. That's way. Hey everybody, what's happening? Squirminator here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm going to talk about the Mr. Hogan's shoulder plane. Okay, shoulders are super important. Getting them on plane is not, as you might think, down at the golf ball target line. That's too steep. It's going to be about roughly 3 feet out. So here's my target line, and there's a stick about 3 feet away, pointed down, roughly 45-degree angle. So if I'm sitting here getting ready to pivot, that would be the pivot I'm looking for, or the angles of the shoulders I'm looking for. So a lot of people are going like this, trying to get this thing way steep, and that's down right here to the yellow stick, and there's just no way I'm going to get unwound in a good spot there. It's too steep. So, you know, a stick 3 feet, you know, it's also looking like that, like the backswing plane. Pretty parallel to this guy here. So again, it's not at your toes down here like this, and it's certainly not level, okay? So the spine angle's tilted over, the right shoulder's going up and back, left shoulder's going down and front, and that gives you that turn right there. So there's the backswing turn. Now, okay, what do we do about the downswing? That's the real key. There's a couple things that need to happen in the downswing. So we'll just go back to the pivot here real quick. As I'm spinning my shoulder plane back, the right hip's loading back like that. I'm spinning this thing back, right hip's loading there. I got this 45-degree-ish angle out in front of me, 3 feet with the shoulders. And then on the way down, I'll turn it around this way. Shoulders need to spin back down from here, back out in front of me. Now, if you only spin the shoulders, trying to get this up level here, if you pivot back and you've got this going, and you only spin the shoulders without shifting, you are going to go over the top of the ball, right? You have to have some transfer. You have to get the lower body to step over to the left side. Actually, you can't see me there. If I only spin back from this backswing shoulder plane, if I just simply turn back, you can see my hips are actually going backwards. They're spinning back this way. I need transfer. I need to get over. So I need to feel like that left shoulder is going to glide kind of linearly straight over my left ankle before I start to turn, really. I mean, I am returning, but it feels more like a bit of a glide over there. So it's a bit of a transfer with a turn, which is a slurn. There's the Hogan slurn. So in order for me to get the tilt of the shoulders I want at the contact, I can't do that just by turning. That's going to be way too over the top right there. That's what I see amateurs do. No shift, over the top. over the top. There. So you got to have some transfer. That's what we're getting to. Got to have some shift, okay? So when I do that, and I can also use my stick here. Like I said, I have it lined up to the right shoulder here. As I wind up, parallel to the stick there, and as I transfer, I can see my white stick coming right out here, keeping me in my spine angle, and then I can kind of extend up this way. All right? Let me see if I can get a couple for you. Go, pretty good there. You know, it wouldn't be for us baseball players. It's not much different than you telling yourself that right shoulder's got to go forward. If I'm throwing a ball to you, I'm going to spin my shoulders and throw it to you. I'm not going to hang back, right? I'm going to turn and my shoulder's going to come to you. And that's a real good feeling of getting the energy going to the left foot, uncoiling, left shoulder's going over. Right shoulder's coming through. Right shoulder's going forward. Right shoulder's going forward. Body is shifting. So I got to shift weight and move the shoulder forward. That takes the plane of the shoulders right like this, transferring nicely here. Split grip is a really good idea, boys. Girls, just like this. See, my head's not moving. But man, I got to turn. And I've got to move some lateral action, okay? There we go. So that's shoulder work. Right angle to the spine, transfer some. Throwing a med ball. Mr. Hogan had, I don't know what page it is, maybe 67, but he had that ball and he's throwing it into a bull, you know, a bullseye archery range target. And just the look of the taking the ball and going like this. I mean, that's it, right there. I always liken it to a discus throw, something that spirals out like that and keeps the shoulders moving and chest turning. That's the way to go. All right, everybody.